Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA. Good to be back in the building here after a kind of crazy
little hiatus.
Crazy couple of weeks here. Lots going on, lots to talk about, as you can imagine. Obviously, we want to put a shout out to all those crazy affected by this storm, not only here in our home state, but up that whole corridor that Helene rampaged through, devastating the Carolinas and Tennessee and parts of Georgia. Absolutely insane. I know a lot of you, are still, unfortunately, some of you are still displaced, out of your homes. Our thoughts and prayers to you. Hopefully things are going as well as they can be going. We're here to talk some fishing, talk some weather, and try to get you through it, at least a couple hours of it anyway. So what do we got for weather? I know it's not good. The look on your face, my friend, is...
I feel sick to my stomach.
I can't even imagine, dude.
Essentially the weather for the next 3 days is going to be sloppy, wet, rainy, windy. We have a little disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico, followed by potentially another tropical system there Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but a lot of things look like Wednesday. So going to be wet, rainy, windy the next couple days, and then potentially really, really nasty there midweek, maybe Thursday-ish, but looks like to be Wednesday. Some models have it being a tropical system. Some models have it being a Category 1, 2 hurricane. The GFS model has it as a Category 3 hurricane. That would be a major hurricane, and has it taken it right on the chin for the Tampa Bay area. So definitely something to watch. That storm has kind of fluctuated sub 18 hours ago, 24 hours ago. Models weren't really showing much, but in the last 24 hours, the models have progressively gotten stronger, showing a higher chance for a likelihood of formation, and National Hurricane Center upped the chances to 80% last I looked. So there's a higher degree of likelihood and confirmation that we are going to see another tropical system this week, midweek. Fun stuff.
It's unbelievable, bro.
It is. We're in the peak of hurricane season, and we are feeling it. I mean, we are literally putting our lives back together from Helene. Very destructive for us in Johns Pass, Madeira Beach, and really the whole region. So I'm not here to complain because a lot of people have it worse than us, but it's definitely sad to see the destruction.
Yeah, for sure.
And then to potentially be dealing with another very destructive storm this week is hard to imagine.
Yeah, the
hard to fathom.
Conversations I've had, I have so many friends on the coast, as a lot of you know, all my...
You don't have any friends.
Well, that can be true too.
I'm back.
A lot of my boys down there, South Seas Island Resort, up to the plantation on Crystal River, Steinhatchee, Cedar Key, so many touched and affected here on the west coast of Florida. Absolutely unbelievable. South Seas got some water again. Obviously not the brunt of it. Plantation on Crystal River wrecked, 3-4 months out before they're going to be back up and operational. Cedar Key is absolutely crushed. Roy's up there in Steinhatchee. If you've been up there and fished, there's a real good chance you've eaten at Roy's. Last time we were there, we had dinner at Roy's, and it's completely
Roy's
gone.
Is gone.
Yeah, it's
flattened.
Gone. So much destruction and devastation. It's absolutely unbelievable. Our weather update brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. They're Florida's leading window and door company, over 50 years in business, free installation. Most windows and doors installed in just 6 weeks or less. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors. Everything comes with a double lifetime warranty. Also, Reese is a proud supporter and fundraiser for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We love that about our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. Also, they have a drawing going on later this month for $15,000. You can win $15,000 in hurricane impact windows and it's happening late October. Again, just text the word HAPPY, that's HAPPY, to 20129 to register if you already have not done so. We highly recommend it. Our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors are the best in the business. Visit reesewindows.com for more info.
You want to hear some good news?
Yeah, I'd love some good news. That'd be great. Drop something on me to smile about.
Dude, it's crazy in John's Pass to see the fish bounce back. I mean, we are rebuilding our dock. We rebuilt our dock already. So that has required a lot of swimming, a lot of standing in the water, a lot of life rafts, balancing. And throughout the whole entire experience, man, there's just so much bait, so many mangrove snappers, so many sheep's heads, so many snook. And daily, multiple times a day, we're seeing huge schools of fish just erupting on bait, causing birds. I mean, yesterday there was thousands of birds and what looked to be an acre of fish busting and not a boat in sight.
It's interesting because you're about the 10th or 11th person I've talked to that has told me that.
Yeah.
My buddy Cody O'Connor with Balfour USA, great friend of mine, great partner of the show. He was going across the Skyway and called me. He goes, dude, there's like 3 acres of bait out here, and the mackerel, you can see the mackerel coming out of the water from the Skyway Bridge.
Wow.
Jim Pollard, who was on the water very, very early, right after the storm, shuttling people back and forth from St. Pete Beach, he said there was mackerel and bait everywhere.
Yeah.
Right there in Bocaciega Bay.
Wow.
So it's everyone I've talked to, the people that have been out fishing, I've said it's been amazing. The offshore guys, the very few people that have been able to get offshore that didn't get completely wrecked, they have just been wrecking the fish.
Nice.
Go figure. Well, it was such a major disturbance. You know, we talk about it all the time that you get these big disturbances in the Gulf, these big, windy issues, and it brings all the fish back to the high reliefs. Well, they were stacked on the high reliefs. I imagine they're still there. It was such a disturbance. So
yeah,
fishing's really good.
And it's nuts to see all the bait and all the action and all the fish coming back to life. So it's cool to see the fish recover from the storm as well. So there is a positive note there, a silver lining there.
Right.
And just hopefully that can keep up and we can keep that momentum.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Hopefully this storm this week is not what some of them are predicting it may be. We don't need another one. That'll set us back some more for sure. So
a lot of people are worried about the storm coming up this week, and the one thing I'll say is models are models, right? Forecasts are forecasts. They can change drastically. There's a lot of things at play in tropical systems, and it has ticked south more and more. If it continues to tick south, it could miss all of Florida, and it could scoot between the tip of Florida and Cuba. So there are some forces at play that still might help our area, so I wouldn't get too worked up about it as of yet. Just one of those things to watch for sure. I think tomorrow will be the telltale sign. As we get closer, 3 days out, there's a lot of model consistency and agreement, and then that's when that likelihood increases, and kind of the area that it's going to hit is more rock solid. And I would imagine probably by tomorrow we'll have a name system, or at least a PTC where they'll initiate cones and that kind of stuff.
I've lived here quite a while now, so obviously not
You're pretty old.
Born and raised Florida. Hey, I'm pretty old, thank you. But it seemed like this last one, they predicted it so well. You know what I mean? The last one stayed pretty spot on. So
Helene went from a Category 1 to a Category 4 in a record amount of time.
Yeah, quick.
And the storm was so wide, like over 800 miles, I believe, that it had such a big wind field. One of my buddies I was talking to before the storm made a great analogy. You think about like a skid steer or a bulldozer. If it's got a little tiny bucket on the front, it can't push much sand or water, right? But if you've got one of those earth movers with a bucket that's 10 feet wide, it's going to move a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what that hurricane was. Helene was just such a big bucket. I mean, record-breaking wind field size and record-breaking storm width. So as it moved into the Gulf, it displaced so much water in front of it. That's why surge was so bad.
Yeah.
Whereas this storm, potentially this week, while it will still have really bad surge just south of the eye if it makes contact in the western peninsula or Florida, but it would be a much smaller scale surge-wise because it's not forecasting a huge 800-mile wide storm, you know. So that would be the other silver lining is if it does become a storm, if it does become an issue, the surge wouldn't be quite as widespread.
Helene was a monster, and again, we're hoping that all of you are okay out there. We'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe you've had a chance to get on the water. Maybe you saw some stuff in your own backyards that would give us a reason to smile on the fishing frontier. We'd love to hear from you. 1-800-969-9352. That's 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Let's talk a little fishing. We'll be back. 970
Yeah, that would suck pretty bad. The problem is the GFS is stronger and has it going to a bad spot, and the GFS model has been like the most trustworthy one. It did a really good job with Helene.
Yeah. No bueno.
No.
Yeah, O'Neill's is wrecked.
Yeah. I saw some of the photos.
Yeah.
Not good.
No. So what'd you guys do with your boats? You left them there in the water?
The Flying Hub 2 and our Shell Key shelling boat was both out of the water at Maximo Marina. Okay. So they were totally fine up on the hard.
Maximo got some water too, though, huh?
Yeah, but our boats were up on blocks.
Okay.
In the parking lot. And then our Dolphin boat, our Shell Key ferry, and our Hub charter boat were all behind Madeira Beach Cantina way back in the canal. They were totally fine. Our Egmont Key ferry boat stayed at Fort DeSoto's boat ramp. And it was probably about 6 inches from that floating dock lifting off the pilings and floating away with the boat. Thank God that didn't happen. So that boat was fine. And then the two big boats stayed on anchor over there, just north of the Treasure Island Police Station, back in that bay. That's where my dad's boat, the Hatteras, is tied up back there at a marina. So they all kind of three stayed in visual contact, and they were totally fine.
Wow.
A lot of wind, a lot of rain, but I mean, floating around on the boat, they went up with the tide, out with the tide. Thank God they didn't stay at the dock. They probably would have both sunk. Yeah, scary.
I know when I pulled my boat on Wednesday, Captain Julio had called me. I was on my way to the marina. And he's like, dude, you come to get your boat? I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way down there now. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to take mine and just park it up by the interstate. So because we're on the back seawall, through a lot of these other storms that, we weren't predicted to get a whole lot of surge, some, but not a whole lot, guys would just pull their boats and shove them up there near the interstate, which is the highest part of the property. So when I woke up the next day, I'm like, and I hooked up to my boat and I pulled out and I saw where Julio put his. There was a spot right next to him wide open, and I almost thought, shit, just keep it here. And I thought, you got a pole barn. Yeah. Like brand new 150 mile an hour rated pole barn. Yeah, just take it home. Give you a chance to clean it. Going to be a couple days till you can fish. You can pressure wash the boat and go through all your hatches and clean everything out. So thank God I did, because they got wrecked.
Did Julio's boat do okay?
Julio pulled it at the last minute. Went and got it. He's like, yeah, because I called him like 2 days later and went, tell me you got your boat out there. He goes, yeah. He said, last minute I ran down there and was like, you know what? I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to go get it.
Yeah. Madeira Beach Marina, the municipal marina, the parking lot was full of boats on trailers before the storm. After the storm, parking lot was clear. All those boats with their trailers are missing. Yeah. I mean, if you cruise from like that Tom Stewart Causeway north or south down the intercoastal on that east side, that whole mangrove shoreline, boat. It's crazy, dude. Crazy.
It's going to be forever before all that's cleaned up.
The Central Avenue Bridge, when you go over the Central Avenue Bridge on that south side is the yacht club, the Treasure Island Yacht Club.
Yeah.
That parking lot was full of boats, and they had a Freedom Boat Club location back there. of course, Freedom didn't do anything. All those boats got lifted up and pushed into Central Avenue. So the Central Avenue Bridge, the first thing Friday behind the storm, they had a crane out there moving boats so a road was accessible. Crazy, man. Friday morning when we went out there at 7 o'clock, it looked like a third world country.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
And people were just standing on the seawall crying, trying to get out of there. We were just evacuating people left and right. It was crazy. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. On our little skiff, we went through like 40 gallons of gas. It was nuts.
Welcome back. Quick shout out to the great John Mamola. He is in today producing this hideous radio program. We appreciate it. He rode some storm out here doing storm coverage. We talked to him a little bit. His will be the first voice you hear. If you want to give us a shout, 800-969-9352. Again, 800-969-9352. We've got a Real Animals Bartow Ford fishing conversation coming up this Tuesday. We have decided to definitely try to do that. Give some of you, hopefully it'll give some of you just a little bit of time to go talk some fishing, get away from whatever craziness you have going on. So that's going to be this Tuesday, October 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. out at Bartow Ford there. We're going to have Silver Ring Cafe, Bull Bay rods to give away, Ingo coolers, Real Animal swag, all the goodies as normal. We will have Captain Travis Thompson joining me up there to talk a little fishing. He does some tarpon fishing, does a lot of duck hunting. Really, really well versed on this Vote Yes on 2, which is coming up. This amendment that we've been preaching and talking about is an absolute no-brainer. We need everyone to really understand what this is all about, so we're going to talk some about that as well. But hopefully we'll see you out there at Bartow Ford. Great location to do a fishing conversation, and we were going to have D. Hubbs join us, but he's got quite a bit going on there at the shop, so we're going to give him a pass, and we'll pick on him the next couple months, have him come join us. So,
well, I appreciate it. Definitely got a few things going on.
You're a little busy, my friend. There's no doubt about it. When, just so people know, when do you think, is there an ETA, a date?
We're running trips today.
You knew where I was headed.
We don't stop.
Got a boy.
Yeah. We have the Hub running today. We have the Dolphin Tours going on today, a sunset cruise. Tomorrow, hopefully, we're going to get our 10-hour all day out, 5-hour half day. It has been a big week, a challenging week, but we've rebuilt our dock. We got power back yesterday. We should have internet hopefully today. Internet came back on. We have fiber internet, but unfortunately the fiber signal is a little disrupted somewhere along the line. The line got bent, I was told.
Sure.
So they have to find that and correct it, but hopefully we'll have internet restored here this morning, and then we'll be back up and running pretty much completely. Only challenge is getting there. It's a little challenging. Traffic is a little challenging, but we do have the parking garage open. It's cleaned out, so people are able to park. And we're going to give anybody with an ID showing they're in one of the flooded areas a free trip. So if people are recovering, reeling from the storm, and they just want to get out on the water for a few hours, they can do so for free. And then that'll help us get a few more people on the boat and just get some momentum going. We got to get back out there on the water and
do what you do.
We got to get our people paid. I mean, our staff is all reeling too, so they need to go back to work and they need to make an income for themselves. And Hubbard's Marina's got to keep going.
I think that's one of the things. I'm not sure that everybody really puts all that in the puzzle. That's the part of the puzzle to me that's so daunting. And I guess it came to my realization because of the stuff that was going on down in Captiva with South Seas, with the county down there being so brutally hard on them after they got completely demolished.
Yeah.
And then the county just grinding them when you have hundreds and hundreds of people that work on that giant resort that need to get back to work.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that people need to understand is there's so many people right now on the coast, and it's not just charter captains. It's all your people in your hospitalities. I mean, all the trade winds and all the people at the plantation and all the people at South Seas and all the people in all those restaurants and bars and all that stuff that have been wrecked. The people that worked at Roy's and Steenahatchee that's no longer there. All those people now don't have work.
Yeah.
They don't have any way to make a living and feed their family, and then dealing with whatever happened to their homes and their vehicles and all that stuff. It's just brutally
for us,
tough.
I mean, we're a family business. We're family owned and operated. We try to treat our staff like family, and they are family. And it's hard to see our staff reeling and dealing with these issues. So we want to try to get them back to work and support them in the best way we can. And the way we can do that is making sure the business is successful. If the business is successful, they can be successful.
Sure.
So it's a team effort, and it has been an incredible team effort this week to get us back to where we are now. And to be able to announce that we're running trips today is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
hopefully we'll be able to get a few trips out with this weather, and hopefully we'll be able to get some time on the water and get back to some sense of normalcy, and hopefully enjoy some fun in the sun.
I've said it for years. I've run some charter trips for giant construction companies up north that would bring like whole buses of people to a boat ramp. I remember we ran one out of Clearwater years ago, and it was just this giant construction company. And the boss, the owner of the construction company, sent his whole company and their families, all the employees and their families. And, dude, we must have had like 20 boats.
Yeah.
Sent everybody to Clearwater on a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Great companies that really, really are successful. They take care of their people, man.
You got to take care of your people.
They take care of their people. That's what makes those companies great.
People are your biggest asset.
If you don't,
if you got good people, you got a good company.
Yeah, if you don't, it doesn't take long to show up.
Mm-hmm.
It'll show up in your books. You know what I mean? It really will. So
yeah, people are your greatest asset. You take care of your people, they'll take care of you. And speaking of great construction companies, huge shout out to Beckner Construction. The guy who owns the place, Ari, he has a place up in Floral City, happens to airboat with my dad. He knows Frank Chevis really well, and Frank Chevis and Ben Mall are close friends. So long story short, they are contracted with DOT, so they're cleaning up Gulf Boulevard. They have a ton of construction projects going on. They were working to clear the sand. They had all this equipment out on the beach, and they just kept stopping by and helping us out. They single-handedly helped us move like 18 dump trucks full of sand out.
Wow.
No cost. Just good people helping us out. Yeah. So we couldn't have gotten to where we are today without them.
I talked about this yesterday when I was on with Jay and Zach. The American spirit. Sometimes we forget how amazing it is. Mm-hmm. Speaking of amazing, we're going to hear from Richard on the South Shore. I didn't want to put Richard in there in a real short segment there. We always have great conversation with Richard. So Richard, hang on through the break for me. We're going to take his call and hopefully hear from you on the other side as well. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Let's talk a little fishing. Light them up. We'll be back. Yeah, these are always tough shows to do, man.
Yeah.
They just, haven't been on the water. The one guy for tomorrow's trip, or Monday's trip, he texted me like late last week, was like, hey, I'm good to go for Monday. I'm like, well, I'm not even sure what ramp I'm using yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was today with the hub charter we have. It's a family who's in town, and they're local, and they want to try to get out there with us, so they were willing to kind of deal with the traffic and the issues, and they're going to show up there this morning and be like, but they want to go fishing, so we're going to take them.
That's a bonus, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to Cody, my Belfour guys. And
yeah, he's called a couple times. He's a good dude, trying to follow up.
Really good dude. I sent him into...
Problem is there's no insurance money. So it's like, again, you're trying to take care of your people. So if we can use our own people, they get payroll, they can get hours rebuilding things. So
listen, when I talked to Cody said, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure he's got enough business anyway.
Yeah, I know they just landed the Vinoy.
Nice.
Plus, 40 or 50 other jobs. And they only do commercial, so a lot of their stuff is really big. Yeah. He's got one location, he told me they're spending $800,000 a day on fuel, just fuel and generators and machinery to get the sand out of there. I mean, wow. $800,000 a day they're spending.
What's really crazy is if you drive up and down Gulf Boulevard and you look on the west side of the road, on the beach side, so many of those places are red tagged, condemned, must be torn down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when the floodwaters came in, there were still cars underneath a lot of those buildings. And a lot of those buildings are raised with parking underneath. So as the cars floated and the waves started to happen, now you've got a wrecking ball. And so a lot of those condos, apartments, motels, their pillars, the big stanchions are damaged. And because of that Surfside thing down in Miami and that collapse of that building, dude, they're being ruthless. If you got like one or two pillars damaged, condemned, tear it down. There is countless properties that are now going to be leveled.
Yeah. Our favorite one, luckily it's not up too high. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be there.
A lot of new construction is going to be coming for sure.
That's good and bad.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while.
But some of the new construction, I mean, there's something to be said about new construction and these ridiculous codes. Like they built that Caddies in Madeira Beach.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so stupid. They're like 25 feet in the air on these huge pillars. I'm like, that thing looks silly. It's dumb they made them do that. Can't believe they had to do all this stuff and jump through all these hoops. Dude, that place is perfect. Totally unarmed.
Yeah.
The new condos they just built in Madeira Beach right along 150th on Tom Stewart, they never even lost power. Never even lost power. They're totally unaffected. I mean, those people sat in their condos drinking cocktails watching everybody else flood. It's crazy. So there's something to be said about that new construction.
Yeah.
If it's done right, at least.
Well, you know, you still got to have some blessing there, too. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, I never would have even thought about that. Picking
Yeah.
them cars up and beating them off the pilings.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of places, countless places, I've never seen flooding this bad. Didn't expect it to be this bad. Never seen this. This is historic. So a lot of people just got taken by surprise.
Oh, for sure.
Like across the street, they're like, oh, you don't have to move your cars. We're up high enough. No problem. Well, they had 8 foot of water.
Right. Well, you know, like Scott Moore said in Anna Maria, Cortez hasn't been underwater since 1921. It's been 100 years.
Wow.
It's been 100 years since they had a storm surge anywhere near what they saw.
Wow.
The whole island had water on it. The whole island.
Yeah.
There's sand everywhere. That's crazy, bro.
That is.
I mean, all the pools, geez,
Yeah, the pools are all filled with sand.
done. I mean, it's going to take you forever to unload them bitches.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Scott was saying, all that sand's got to be freaking decontaminated.
Yeah.
Got to take all that.
Well, we got really lucky with that. Because at first, when we started, because Beckner came out so early, I talked to the DOT guy across the street at Kingfish Park, and they were taking all the sand from Gulf Boulevard and piling it up there. And they let us bring our sand there for the first 3 days. So we just had to cross the street with it. And then they caught on. They're like, who's doing this? Like, this sand is terrible. You can't have this here. And then they stopped. So the last day we had to truck it like an hour and a half up the road. But luckily we were real blessed. Or else it would have been, sand would have still been sitting there. Crazy.
This is the Bartow Ford Wheel Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back, 636 here at the iHeartMedia Empire. Again, phone lines are open here. Trying to talk some fishing, trying to get some normalcy going back here. 1-800-969-9352. Again, the great John Mamola joins us on the other side of the wall here, keeping us rolling here this morning. We do appreciate him and everything he went through in the storm to help bring us storm coverage throughout that brutal storm. Hopefully the one headed at us doesn't turn into another one. We don't need it. Please, good Lord, we don't need it. Let's go to the phones here. Let's talk to our good friend Richard on the South Shore. Richard, how are you this morning? Hopefully you fared okay in the storm, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just fine. My house is a little different. I got 32 inches of water.
Oh,
Sorry to hear that, man.
Well, I've been lucky so far, but yeah, we got everything, all the drywall torn out and all the crap piled in the center of the room, walking around. My biggest problem is finding something that I just set down. And all the,
right.
I can resonate with that. Yesterday I lost my keys like 37 times. And normally I'm really good about that kind of stuff, but I woke up this morning not knowing what day it was.
Yeah. Exactly. Yesterday I went to drag the garbage cans out, for the household garbage, and asked the guy next door, had the garbage people come yet, and he said that was yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. It's on such a grand scale.
Fortunately, I have my brother. We're a couple of old guys. Got my brother to help me with this. But I get up in the morning at 3 o'clock because I can't sleep, and I start at it and go until I get tired. But that's kind of what I wanted to say. This task for everybody, especially doing yourself, is tremendous. These guys out here and women doing stuff, especially that are a little older, you need to know when to slow down and take a break.
Amen.
There's so much to be done, and it will still be there when you get done resting.
Yeah.
But you're stressed anyway. You're getting out there and you're working your ass off, and you could end up injuring yourself or having something happen to you, heaven forbid, and make it worse. So be sure to take breaks and stay hydrated. Another problem I have is just deciding what to do next. There's just so much to do, and it's overwhelming.
Yep.
And, it's a state of confusion, which is my normal state, so I'm lucky there.
Glad you said that before I did.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I'm opening a program that you'll probably want to donate to. It's Kids for Manatees. We're going to take little kids and feed them to manatees.
I was just going to say, did you get a manatee in your house? Because that would just be so fitting. You had a little baby manatee swimming by during the flood. They all came to say hello to you.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you take what friendship you can get. All right, but everybody out there, it's no sense in telling you not to be stressed, but just take it easy and don't hurt yourself.
Amen,
I'll
brother.
talk to y'all later on.
Richard, we're happy you're doing okay, my friend. Hang in there, brother. We appreciate you more than you know. Thanks for giving us a call this morning.
He hit the two key points that I've been harping on all week, and really having to rein my dad back. My father.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
God bless him. I mean, he will work until he falls down, and it's like, dude, we got to rest a little bit. We can't work all day, or our people won't be able to keep going.
Right.
And we've been working nonstop since Friday, every day.
Right.
So it's like once 2, 3 o'clock starts rolling around, we've been hard at work doing manual labor since 6, 7 a.m. It's like, all right, we got to let people go.
Yeah.
Dad, you got to slow down. Yeah. And then also the whole overwhelming thing. I mean, when we walked in Friday, it's like, how are we going to recover from this? How is this even possible to clean up?
Yeah.
And you just have to start somewhere. And all my staff gets annoyed because I keep using the same phrase of how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time.
Right.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start taking bites.
Just dig in.
And everybody's like, what do we do next? It's like, find a project, whether it's sweeping sand, shoveling sand, cleaning this up, spreading bleach over here, rinsing this off. Just find something to do and just keep doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Take those little small steps and they add up to a big change.
Well, and again, that stuff it's just important, and there's so much of it. Like Richard said, it'll be there. It's going to be there. Mm-hmm. I'm a big believer, especially with you, where you have people on the payroll. Mm-hmm. You can't grind them 20 hours a day for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row, because that just leads to more issues.
Yeah, they're going to get sick. They can't keep
leads
going.
to emotional breakdowns, and next thing you know, you got fist fights and craziness going on. I mean,
Yeah.
I learned that way back in my military days. You know, when I was in the military, we weren't at war.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these commanders would go off the deep end, and next thing you know, these guys are they're flying sorties, which are just exercise missions, training missions, and all that, and they're working 12 hours a day for 3 weeks straight. I'm like, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have an accident. That's what's going to happen. And sooner or later, one of the planes bellied in because somebody left a bag of screws in one of the wheel wells, and the wheels wouldn't come down. I'm like, I told you. And I get you got to do some grinding, you got to work, you got to push. You're in the military, you got a mission. I get that. We're not at war. You know, so much time. And here, same kind of scenario.
But even at war, I mean, you're out in a 3-4 day mission. You get back, and they give you some rest time before your next mission.
You need to brain up. I mean, you got to rehydrate and recenter and all that stuff. So it's important, especially with a big catastrophe like this. It's not good. So let's check in with our good friend Alan in St. Pete. I know you have been busy, Alan. How are you, my friend?
I'm tired.
I'll bet.
And God bless me. My house in Safety Harbor is so far above the flood zone, I don't even have to have insurance.
Nice.
And, lost power for a day and a half, but such a minor inconvenience. I feel, and I have to drive through it every day to get back here. And I had to sit here for a couple of days during the storm, and minor inconveniences compared to what you guys are going through, and all the people that I see. Some of the devastation here along Bay Pines is just, it's hard to comprehend. I can't even imagine what some of these people are going through. Don't have anything witty and funny to say today. I'm just little public service announcement. If you're missing your boat still and you can't find it, it's because you can't see it from the water. We found just in the area between the Vet Memorial Park and the Madeira Fundamental School, where I work, my beat, as it would be, there's at least 5 center consoles still here, several jet skis. We've tried to make contact with most of the owners. Please, people, if you've got a jet ski, put your numbers on it. It makes it a lot easier to find you, or a boat for that matter. Put your numbers on the hull. If you've got it, we've been able to track down a lot of them, but the storm just lifted everything above the mangrove line and then dropped it 30 feet inland. So your jet ski and your boat may be sitting in dry land and you can't even see it. We've got one that it's going to take a crane to get it out of there. Cito's not getting it out. It's across a parking lot into this lagoon over here along that mangrove line. It's going to take a crane. So just if you can't find your boat, and several owners we've reached out to, it just they said, hey, look, appreciate you contacting me, but I don't have a house, so it's low price. It's not on my list of things to do right now. So
Understood.
who knows? They may never come out of there. They may be there forever, and then and just the amount of personal effects. We have to check these boats because you don't know, because people out here live on their boats. So we had to make sure. So it was a rough few days hacking our way into these boats to make sure they're not occupied.
Yeah.
But the stuff you see on the ground, just the personal effects stuff, very sombering. Yeah. And I've got friends that work in law enforcement up in North Carolina, and the things they're telling me that they're seeing that you're not seeing on the news is just
horrible.
It's third world.
Yeah.
Just stuff they're finding I can't even describe on the radio. It wouldn't be appropriate.
Right.
Yeah. I have a couple buddies high up at FWC, and they all got deployed once DeSantis realized the search and rescue issue was already kind of resolved around Horseshoe Beach and some of the hardest hit areas. He issued our FWC law enforcement and our state guard to those harder hit areas in western North Carolina and Tennessee and all those areas. And a couple of those buddies are sending me some texts and photos of what they're seeing. It's
not
gruesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty gruesome. And I just wish that we could, I was arguing last night with my wife's liberal uncle that lives in Canada now. And I was like, and he's getting into it with my friends, and it's just a big battle. It's like, dude, I'm not putting anything on Facebook anymore. I'm just over it. just at this point, just suspend the campaigning, take your campaign funds, put it into some sort of hurricane relief. We've all decided how we're voting. Just take the ads up. We don't need any more negativity on the ads, and just we're done. Just give the money to something that's useful.
Well, on that note, what's ironic is if you drive off the beach and into town, even a couple miles in Pinellas County, for example, if you get to the Tyrone area, it's normal life.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, Fox
absolutely.
13 has been doing a lot of hurricane coverage. And like Charlie Belcher, instead of his daily, like, hey, I'm at some fun place, look what we're doing today, he's been out in these hard hit areas showing the hurricane damage, talking to business owners and how they're recovering and all this. And Fox 13 started to get hate mail. Hey, we get it. There was a hurricane. Let's move on. And it's like,
that's crazy.
Whoa.
But how do you move on?
Crazy, bro. It's
a
crazy.
huge part of our population in Pinellas.
So I got a call. I got a call from Greg Miner, he owns Vicious Fishing Line, which is a great partner of mine. I got a call from Greg. He lives in Indiana, and until I posted, he saw my post that Mahoney's and Matt Clapp with Total Plumbing Solutions were setting up their locations for drop-off destinations for stuff to take to Metropolitan Ministries. I did the post. He saw it. He didn't realize how hard hit the west coast of Florida was because he's in Indiana. He said, all we're seeing, Mike, is what's going on in Tennessee and North Carolina. I had no idea that the national media isn't even hardly touching it. And then when you hear that our own local media is starting to, or people are starting to forget what's going on the coast, that's crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. Crazy we have such short-term memory.
And it is nuts what happened up north of us. I mean,
it's horrible. They've got listen, I'm not saying we shouldn't give that love.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, that devastation from this hurricane.
I know what you meant. I was clarifying for listeners.
But I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not obviously –
downplaying that.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying anybody, but the devastation for this thing stretched all the way through Georgia, all the way up into the mountains. It's crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
Crazy storm, man. Crazy storm. And listen, we got to make sure that we give some love. And I know not your intention in calling, Alan. You call all the time, but our first responders, they've had to put in some serious hours, man. You guys have had to put in some serious hours. We need to give you all some love. Our men and women, in blue that are on the streets have been, trying to guard against the looting and some of the craziness going on and all that, man. God bless you guys, dude. I know you've been working some long hours. We really appreciate everything you and your brothers and sisters do over there, pal.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. But I tell you, I'm so much better than a lot of the people I work with and know that live on the coast. I'm just so grateful.
Yeah.
You come across, I tell you what, when you come across the Bay Pine Bridge, you look at that trailer park over to the right there.
Nuts.
And just, you're looking into people's bedrooms through the side of the house. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But, you thank God for a great support group, great friends, and great family and God, and because that's all you got, man. That's all you got.
Well, it should hopefully things like this will help put some clarity on all the nonsense we worry about every single day. When it gets right down to it, your neighbors, your friends, and your family, that's what really matters.
Yeah.
I tell you what really impressed me is I was actually outside around 7:30 in the evening when it was really started getting rough. And we watched our pier wash away, and then we started getting hit with trees and stuff, branches, and I'm like, maybe we should get off the road too. And but the amount I actually saw the water rise 2 feet in 7 minutes.
Yep.
And I've never experienced that storm surge like that. You see 8 to 10 storm surge. You don't, but if you haven't seen it, you don't know what that means.
It happens in minutes.
I know we all know now what that means.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it takes that kind of example to drive it home. But to watch it, I watched it. How fast that happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. We appreciate your call, Alan. I'm up against the break here, brother. You again, to you and your brothers and sisters there that are trying to protect everybody over there on the beaches and along the coast. We appreciate everything you're doing, more than you know, buddy.
All right, man. We appreciate it. You guys have a great one. Good luck to all y'all.
All right, partner. Talk soon. The great Alan McCullough there. Great people. Great friend of the program. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Maybe you have had a chance to get on the water. Want to talk a little fishing? We could use a little fish talk for sure. Obviously, a lot of hurricane coverage here still, but and that's okay too. You got a story about the hurricane, you want to talk about that? My golly, we're here for that too. So we'll be back talking fishing on the other side, 970
WFLA wants to put a grand in.
Yeah. None of us have been fishing either, really.
I don't know that you can steer this thing towards fishing with everything going on. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, and I think this, this show being here so long just gives people a place to vent and talk and air it out a little bit. So be it. Probably very true. Yeah. Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I agree. I was just hoping to steer it towards positive, and it just got to stay into this grind. Exactly. Nice shot. I appreciate that.
What did he say?
Let's start talking about the Packers, and everybody will start running away.
Dude, speaking of fishing, though, the John's Pass guys that go out there every morning and snook fish, they're catching some big girls.
Oh, I'll bet.
Big girls.
Oh, we got a safe boating tip from Jim Fogle. Oh, shit, I haven't done any plugs.
You're rusty.
Apparently. Well, we've just been talking about so much important stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mackerel are definitely in the pass, Frank. There's a lot of mackerel around the pass. Yeah, John Sassers, who I was talking about, Angel, he walks by the marina every morning, and we've been catching up. He actually has helped us clean up a few days. He's volunteered. We've had a lot of people help come out and volunteer. We've had a lot of people come and drop off food, so that's super appreciated. But John is one of the past snook fishermen, and he gets out there like 1, 2 a.m. and fishes through sunrise. But he's been hanging out and helping us clean a little bit. But yeah, he's showing us photos of some big 40-plus snook he's been catching.
That's the time to catch them.
Yeah. Tim, the dock is the same width. Basically, we built back very similar, the same dock, except for it doesn't have a divider. And I'm fighting to keep the divider off of it, which will make it seem much bigger and will give us a lot more space for activities. What's crazy is the waves were so bad, they were hitting the back of our building and shooting up, and it broke the boardwalk. The back of our building has no siding left. It ripped the siding off the wall.
Welcome back. I want to put a shout out to our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. If you need a roof repair, which I imagine there's a good chance you might, nobody does it better than our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Hubbard, Capt. Big Ben Marshall both used Affordable Roofing Systems and loved it. Give a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF. Get your free estimate or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Also want to put a shout out to our good friend Chris Myers. We got water, and I know a lot of you in Hillsborough County did. Ace Heating and Cooling is the name you need to know, a name you can trust in the air conditioning and heating business. They've got great guys working for them, just great people. They've been doing it a long time. Chris loves the fishing community. He's a big-time fisherman himself. Give them a call today at 813-657-8818, or you can look them up online at brandonac.net. Two companies we know could help some of you out right now. We've got some great partners here. We got rolling on the storm here this morning, and wanted to make sure you guys had a couple of those phone numbers to get you through. We're going to give you a few more numbers to help some of you out as we go through the program here. Let's try to get a quick call in. Let's try to get a quick safe boating tip in here, and then we'll check in with Captain Gene Hammond here on the other side. Let's go to Captain Jim Fogel here real quick. Jimmy, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you, and we missed out on almost everything. Hardly any damage here at all, thank you.
Yes, sir.
God bless.
Got a couple of things here this morning. One, if you're going out in your boat, for goodness sake, watch out for debris in the water.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some half a docks floating by my house here so often, and big pilings, all kinds of crap, and you can't always see it. You know, it could be sticking up just 6 inches from the bottom or from the top, and you won't see it. Another thing, if you're going outside and you're going to be around any of our passes, for goodness sake, be careful of shoaling. You know, guys might have talked about that already, but there's a lot of sand that's moved around all over the place, and I'm sure it all.
You're telling me, bud.
Yeah.
You got about a minute. A minute left, Jimmy.
One more thing: if your boat is still on a lift, make sure it is not full of water. A lot of these pictures we're seeing appear to be where the lift failed, and the lift may fail if the boat is full of water at 8 pounds per gallon. Yeah. That will crash your lift. So let's check that out this morning and get the plugs out of them. We're going to have a lot of rain next week, I think.
No doubt.
So let's be ready for it.
Yeah, on the good side of next week, it'll be a lot of rain.
Yeah. All right, guys. For the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete, Jim Fogel, be safe out there.
Thank you, Jimmy. Great job, brother. We appreciate you. Good stuff right there. A little safe boating tip. We've got the great Captain Gene Hammond, Lines of Liberty, and we've got Mr. Hubbard. The original, the big Hubs. Papa Hubs is on the line. So, again, phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Don't forget to check out our good friends at Relentless Perpetual Edge Knives. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com. Find out for yourself why this is a knife all the pros are talking about. We'll be back.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
News Radio 970 WFLA, Tampa 97.9 FM, WXTV HD2 Clearwater, Tampa Bay's home for Decision 2024, and it's never
Currents will likely be a concern along many Florida beaches this weekend. Captain A.J. Miller with Volusia County Beach Safety spoke to Fox 35 about how to respond if you find yourself in a rip current.
If you do get in trouble, you find yourself getting pulled away from shore, there's a couple different things you can do. First off, don't panic. Swim parallel, so swim along the shoreline, and eventually you're going to swim out of the rip current and be able to swim back in.
Volusia County Beach Safety reports an 86-year-old Longwood man died Thursday after being caught in a rip current on Daytona Beach shores. The St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office gave an update Friday on the arrest of 41-year-old Andre Gorlov, who was arrested for 100 counts of possessing child pornography. Sheriff Keith Pearson spoke to reporters.
He's in custody at the St. Lucie County Jail on over 100 counts of possession of child pornography. They've taken, safe to say, over 150 different devices. That's SD cards, computers, laptops, anything that'll digitally hold a device, and they're combing through that now to see if there's more child pornography on there.
Gorlov was arrested on Thursday after a search warrant was executed at his home on Sarrazin Avenue in Port St. Lucie. Investigators don't believe any of the victims seen in the images were from the local area. Florida's capital city of Tallahassee just barely missed being clobbered by Hurricane Helene. An upper-level cutoff low, combined with a cold front that slowly moved eastward just as the storm made landfall, helped nudge the storm ever so slightly to the east and thereby sparing Tallahassee from the full force of the Category 4 hurricane. Helene's center of circulation passed about 40 miles east of Tallahassee, with the storm's strongest winds coming as close as 10 miles from downtown. Meanwhile, meteorologists are keeping an eye on an area of tropical weather in the Gulf of Mexico that will likely bring lots of rain to most of Florida. The system will likely begin dumping rain on Sunday and could develop further as the week progresses. Sandbag sites will be open today in Naples, Fort Myers, and throughout the Tampa Bay area. Check with your local officials for your nearest sandbag site. With Florida's News, I'm Tim Adkins.
The latest traffic and weather.
275 I-4 in good shape and no delays in or around Tampa International Airport. This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot.
Well, support's always slow to come for some reason.
Yeah.
So humid out.
It felt a little good this morning. I had a little bit of a chill.
It was hot yesterday when I got out farting around. I was like, Jesus.
Rob Kelly on the Hubbard stream said, hoping this next storm with this old man name doesn't take his Viagra. Because the next storm is supposed to be named Milton. 232 people. Wow. That toll keeps rising.
That's what they found.
Yeah. There's still a lot of people missing.
Yeah, the mountains are bad. That's a bad scene up there, dude.
Mm-hmm. 232 people. And, a majority of those deaths are not in our area. Like Pinellas County, I think, had 12 deaths, which is a lot. It's definitely tragic. But, I think there's one county in western North Carolina, the death toll was over 118. Yeah. Scary stuff. Yeah.
Take your time.
There goes Captain Mike again with those jackwagon yawns.
I'm not a morning person. Not a morning person. All these years, me and a charter captain, I still don't like mornings. Unless I'm going to sit in a tree.
I love the morning.
I don't.
Dark, quiet, no one's up yet. Get stuff done without people being in your way. Your phone doesn't ring. It's beautiful.
Just ignore
it's
your
my
phone.
little piece of quiet.
Do what I do. Just ignore your phone.
Must be nice. You never ignore your phone.
I don't. That's true.
You answer your phone more consistently than almost anybody I know.
I take your calls. You're my partner. I take your calls. Too many commercials.
Mm-hmm.
More yawns. Jackwagon yawns.
Big shout out to you, Angie. Thank you so much for what you did for our staff and our family.
Who's that?
One of our listeners donated really, really nicely to our employee campaign, raising funds for all the employees affected.
Welcome back. Putting a shout out to our good friends at Innovative Pools and Spas. They bring over 35 years of experience building pools into the Tampa Bay area. They are continuing the legacy of their father's company, which was recognized as the top pool builders in the Tampa Bay area for over 35 years. Plus, they're continuing to raise the bar in pool construction, design, and features. They have an unparalleled passion for the industry, along with a deep-rooted commitment to the community and unwavering dedication to excellence, driving them to uphold the highest standards in pool construction and integrity. Call them today at 727-788-1650 or visit them online at innovativepoolsandspa.net for an estimate. All good stuff. We love our partners here, making it possible for us to be here. Let's go to the phone lines. If you want to join us, phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Don't forget, Tuesday night, we're going to be out at Bartow Ford. We're going to have some food from our good friends at Silver Ring Cafe. We're going to start about 6 o'clock-ish, and I always say ish because traffic can be bad, so we don't normally get too chatty until 6:15, 6:20 or so. I try to give people a chance to get out there to Bartow Ford and join us. Captain Travis Thompson's going to join me. We're going to be talking inshore fishing, talking some offshore fishing, talking vote yes on 2 to kind of make sure that we have good clarity on what's going on there. So as we head towards the polls in November, we know what's going on with that one. And Travis is a super, super talented guy, smart guy. It'll be great to pick his brain a little bit and figure out what's going on there. So join us Tuesday night, this Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. out at Bartow Ford. Again, we'll have Bull Bay rods, Ingle coolers to give away, all that good stuff like we normally do. Maybe some of you just need to get away from all this hurricane noise a little bit. That's our plan anyway, unless the storm diverts it. And make sure you stay tuned to the Real Animal social media pages. If the storm gets crazy or something happens there, we will obviously let you know on our social media platforms. So make sure you follow there. Let's check in real quick with Captain Gene Hammond, Lions of Liberty. Gino, how are you, brother?
Oh, boy. Well, I get...
oh, boy.
I know, right? I get 4 feet of brand new sheetrock all through my house. It's great. brand new shiny sheetrock.
Yeah.
And, but
not by choice.
It's been a tough week, man. The water's still pretty dirty up here. I've done some dock walks and throwing lures around, and it's still pretty dirty. I mean, it was fairly clean, and you could see the bottom. You can't see anything right now. And like Jim Fogel said, there's debris floating by all over the place. So
right,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not good, and we got another storm of some kind coming. Either we're going to have a bunch of rain, or hopefully not worse. But looks like we're going to have a bunch of rain this week too, which will give us a bunch of runoff and a bunch of craziness to go to add to everyone's issues already. So, going to be a crazy week.
So good to hear Dylan up and running again. I saw his videos and reached out to him, and I can't believe it's awesome that you're up and running already and doing trips, and it's good to see to try to get back to some kind of normal way of life here, but we're plugging away.
Doing the best we can, that's for sure.
Yeah, all you can do is put your head down and keep charging forward when tragedy strikes like it has here on the west coast of Florida for so many people. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're trying to help a couple of veterans up here, Lions of Liberty. I'm trying to help Captain Bill Rutherford from Vet Catch. He had a friend, World War II veteran, pass away during the storm, and him and his family need help. Bill's going to fund his celebration of life and funeral, but he needs help. We have another Army veteran that is wheelchair bound. And he lost his van that helps him get around, so he's trapped in his house right now. He can't go anywhere. And Captain Bill Rutherford's helping him out as well. If you would, I know everybody's hurting, but if you can and would like to help with that effort, just go to vetcatch.org, and we're going to try to help him out, help those veterans out like we do. So
God bless you, bro. Got to keep up the good work. We have so many of those stories up and down the coast here. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy. Doing too much helping everybody else, every other country out, and here we are struggling at home. Makes no sense to me, dude. No sense.
Yeah.
But we'll come
we
together.
Appreciate you, gentlemen, and hopefully I can get out to Bartow Ford this Tuesday and listen to some fish and stuff and get away from this madness a little bit. But we appreciate your support, and thank you guys so much.
Keep up the good work, brother. Keep your chin up. Everybody, the American spirit's going to help everybody grind through it, dog.
You betcha.
All right,
you
partner.
betcha.
Appreciate you, buddy. Talk soon. Hopefully we'll see you Tuesday night.
Yes. Cheers.
All right, partner. Good stuff. Gene does a lot of good stuff.
World War II veteran.
Yeah, man.
That dude went through it.
Yeah. I always, whenever I'm watching the, if you ever watch Band of Brothers or any of that stuff, dude, talk about the greatest generation.
The greatest.
Ever.
Dude, I was listening to this podcast about this guy who was in multiple Pacific theaters on multiple different islands, and he was upset. They dropped a bomb and ruined a perfectly good war. He was ready. He was ready to go through every island all the way into Japan.
I'm telling you, dude. Just a whole nother generation.
Gives me the chills.
Yeah, just welcome to freaking bad mamma jamma land. Yeah, come and get you some. Dude, the stuff that happened at Bastogne and stuff like that, where dudes were digging holes in the frozen earth with no freaking field jackets, no nothing.
Yeah.
No winter socks, no nothing. No gloves, freezing temperatures. Dude, jump here. What we're going to do is we're going to load you guys onto boats. And there's a bunch of people on that island over there. They're dug in pretty good. They got machine guns.
Holes.
But we just want you to go ahead. We're going to run the boats up on the beach, and you guys run towards them, okay?
Yeah.
And a bunch of dudes are like, okay, yes, sir, that's what we'll do. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, multiple times.
Crazy, yeah.
Not just once.
Yeah, we'd like you to do it several times.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just bad to the bone. Let's check in here with D Pops, Papa Hubs. Mr. Hubbard, how are you this morning?
Well, could be better, that's for sure, but we survived.
Yes, sir.
And rebuilding, digging out, cleaning out, and rebuilding.
Amen.
I can't say enough for Dylan. I mean, he and his cousin, next day, built a little catwalk out to the dock, to the boats, and within 5 days, completely rebuilt the main dock with help from a lot of volunteers and some really great carpenters. Built a strong dock that's going to take us to the next one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We had a guy from Salt Strong. We had a lot of community outpouring from the Salt Strong community. They did a lot to help us raise funds for the staff affected through our GoFundMe that we're running on our website page. But also we had guys show up from Salt Strong. And one of the best volunteers we got, his name's Woody. He almost single-handedly built back a lot of that dock.
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah, we've had a lot of outpouring from the community. It's beautiful.
Yeah, part of that American spirit. You guys have been, and there's so many companies that have done this, but we're just talking about Hubbard's right now, but you guys have been putting smiles on a lot of people's faces for a long time over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys have been really good to the community. Dylan does a great job in giving and caring about, everything, about the customers, about his community, about, the neighborhood that, John's Pass, all the work he did on all that sand, and jacking up John's Pass. I mean, you guys have put your time in, man, so I'm not surprised that, the community's stepping up and helping you guys get back up and running. You guys deserve it.
I like the idea he has of offering free or discounted, I don't know exactly what the...
it was free.
To
classic
local,
Pops.
Folks that are affected by the floodwaters to go fishing and on the dolphin watch. I know this dock I'm on that I rode the storm out on this boat with, there's this hotel behind me just opened, and it is almost totally full of residents from the beaches that are just digging out of their own homes and their own businesses. And not only is their business trash, but their home is trash.
Yeah.
And they're just numb. This hotel Fusion did a little thing last night, just free food. They had food trucks and free drinks for the community and for the people that are staying here. And I'm meeting people from this community that I've known for years that are staying here at this hotel, and they're just bumping into each other, just blank stares, numb. And it's going to be a tough road.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And, that's the beauty of what we do. We fish. And fishing is a place that people go and relax and forget and re-energize. So it's important. I think it's great that you guys are up and running again, and I hope to get my boat back on the water. I was hoping to get it on the water this week, but I don't know if the weather's going to let us do it or not. We'll have to see what happens. But
it will. Something's going to change. It's going to be beautiful.
It's really active. I mean, I've seen the jack by the seawall. I've seen mullet come by the seawall. The water's nasty, but there's a dolphin are out here. There is a lot of debris. I mean, there's lots of poles, lots of big timber. I mean, I ran our little boat running the shuttle, and one of them got me. It was about a 14-foot 2x12, and it was just laying flat, and it got me. But we survived that hit. And I've been trying to pick stuff out of the water, but there's a lot of ropes, there's a lot of stuff. So if you are on the water, you got to really be careful watching out for all that floating debris.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times too, what happens is especially some of the wood, as it floats, and then as it takes on too much water, it starts to get underneath the surface, so you don't see it so good. That's
one I hit. It was a underneath cap board that was already waterlogged. And every time the wind shifts, all the crap floats from one side of the bay to the other. Yeah. And there's like islands of crap floating around. It's pretty intense. Found some good stuff floating so far, but got some souvenirs.
He was joking around yesterday. He was like, if I had my truck right now, I would be filling up Gulfport with all this stuff that we're finding and floating, finding debris and finding different things. And we all were joking, thank God his truck is totaled. we would be in a pickle.
It's a virgin. I wouldn't even drive through saltwater puddles.
Yeah, that poor truck.
I hear you, brother. Mark, it's good to hear your voice, brother. It really is. And you guys keep up the good work at Hubbard's. I know for a fact that Hubbard's is in good hands, and you guys just keep doing what you're doing for the community. We appreciate you. Always good to hear your voice, my friend.
Yeah, well, we're building back better, making John's Pass Hubbard's great again.
Love it.
We had a time together. That was beautiful.
If you go fishing, you're just too busy.
Yes, you are. Well done, Hubbs. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. Be good. Great. I love that. Well done. We've got...
He took both phrases.
Yeah,
he used them both.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, it's well done. He's been in the game a long time, that guy. We've got Captain Justin Moore. We've got Joe and Jamie on the line as well. We hopefully will hear from you guys here on the other side. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up.
Sorry, did I startle you? When you're used to hearing a certain type of commercial.
T-shirt. Slick, bro. That should be a T-shirt. God dang. Oh, man, I did lunges yesterday.
Man, this weather looks crazy. Yeah, floating debris is definitely a big concern, Rob. Keep your eyes out for sure. Fran's sales, that's great to hear. Plantation is running trips again.
Which protein are you taking?
I mainly just use First Form.
First Form?
Yeah. They have, I think, the best tasting, best dissolving protein I've ever had in my life. Years of product testing in different proteins. It's expensive, a little bit more than what you would spend if you got like the GNC Optimum Nutrition. It comes in a little smaller jar, but it's good stuff. Tastes incredible. Yeah. And I mix it in with my coffee. So nice.
Yeah, you like that coffee thing.
I tried, I ran out of it and I had to order it because it's all online. You can't buy it in the store. So I bought some hydrolyzed protein, and it was good, but the taste is not as good as I find. There's other ones that taste better, but they have sugar in them. Yeah, it's the best tasting protein without added sugar, in my opinion.
Joe and Jamie. I don't know who the hell that is.
Chris Collins is currently making pulled pork, I believe, to bring down to the Marina right now. He's bragging in the comments. You should be in this kitchen right now. It smells amazing.
Welcome back. 7:24 here. Got a short segment before the bottom of the hour. Again, if you need roof repairs, look no further than our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. They're the best in the business. Give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate. Or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Let's go to the phone lines here. Let's try to get one in quick. Let's check in with our good friend, Captain Justin Moore. Justin, how are you, brother?
We're doing good. We're hanging in here. Good morning to everybody. Dylan, I'm so sorry to hear about what happened to you guys up there. It was really impactful. Even south, I know they got a couple feet of water there. Matt Lachey and Van said he had a couple feet or a foot of water. And Boca Grande, all the stores down there got inundated with a foot, 2 foot of water. And it just came on. It just got worse the further north it got.
Yeah.
You know, and
what's crazy is Van was out of town. He was up north in like Georgia or North Carolina, somewhere like that. And so not only was his house back in Boca Grande area flooding, but the house he was staying at on this vacation was flooding.
Oh, wow.
Same story.
Unbelievable.
Double dip.
Yeah.
And it's hard too, you know, you know, you want to help so many people. You know, in my case, you know, my parents' house there, the house I grew up in on the canal there in Holmes Beach, I mean, it was just, we put the boat in the water immediately and got out there. And it was just, I mean, I've never, you know, you always wonder what, you know, what would happen or what it would look like. And I mean, they had about 4.5 feet in the whole house. And everybody that had ground level floors on Anna Maria, Longboat Key, the village got hit really hard in Longboat. That was the way it was everywhere. Canis Marina got absolutely destroyed. I think it's a total loss.
Wow.
And, you know, all you can do is, you know, do what you can and help people. And I'll tell you, Anna Maria and the Manatee County guides, I'm really, really proud to say I was really not surprised, but really kind of overwhelmed. A lot of guides immediately were putting their boats in the water, giving free boat rides from the boat ramps, on the river, getting people out to their homes, and did for days, and are still, because there's areas in Braden Beach and places you can still not access by car. The sand's piled up so high,
right?
People can't get to there. So I thought that was really a special thing that the guiding community and then a lot of residents also stepped up, helping people. So
that's how it was up in our area. It was like a 4th of July weekend. There were so many boats on the water, and they tried to close some boat ramps because there were so many boaters on the water accessing the beaches that they were trying to close. Yeah. They were kind of forcing us out. Right. But Jungle Parada boat ramp had like a mile-long line, and volunteers showed up and orchestrated the chaos. It was amazing to see the community come together and American boats getting out of the way, letting us bring people in and out. It was a beautiful orchestrated chaos at Jungle Parada for a solid 3 or 4 days. It was nuts.
Yeah. I mean, the American spirit's a special thing, bro. No doubt.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. And people too kept coming up to me. A lot of people have moved here recently, whether it's been a year, 10 years, 15 years, and everyone. I had more people, neighbors come. Where did all this sand come from? Years ago, we didn't have the beach renourishment. We didn't have all the sand. Right. And I'm really I want to see the science on this and what's going to happen in the future. Does it really protect you in an event like this, or does it just make things worse by pushing that sand across the whole island? To me, it seems like they've had more problems with the sand. It's taken 3, 4, 5 days, almost a week to get the sand for people to access, stuff. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But, Dylan, I'm glad to hear you guys are up and running. Everyone's got to kind of slowly get back to some normalcy and try to make a living. And all you can do is, try and help people along the way,
Amen.
Keep your head down and go to work, brother. We appreciate you and all you're doing down there for your community down there. We appreciate you as a friend of the program, my friend. And I talked to your dad, and I hope you guys get put back together down there and get rocking and rolling. Anna Maria Island is one of mine and my wife's very favorite places on the entire planet for good reason. So it just breaks my heart every time I see the photos of that place. But, we'll get her back together, brother, and we appreciate you joining us this morning. Stay in touch with us, all right?
One thing really quick, and I got a short segment for everybody out there that's going on the water and maybe boating this weekend. I fished yesterday. The fishing was excellent. There was bait everywhere. Just be very, very careful. Obviously, there's all kinds of submerged boats, pilings. The guides we've been stopping, putting buoys on stuff, Clorox bottles. Be really careful on the flats. There's all kinds of that polyboard decking and polyboard seats and chairs and benches that are just under the water on the flats, and you do not want to hit that stuff. It's extremely hard. I was in the tower yesterday, and I was bobbing and weaving on some stuff. So just everybody be very, very cautious out there on the water if you're getting out there fishing this weekend, okay?
Great tip, Justin Moore. We appreciate you, Captain.
All right.
Be good. Have a great week.
Take care.
All right, partner.
Good fishing, everybody.
Thanks, pal. One of the best in the business right there, Captain Justin Moore, great friend of the program. We got Joe and Jamie up next. They've been on hold for a while. Hopefully we'll hear from some of you as well. Again, phone line 1-800-969-9352. The good news is fishing is good if you can get out there. We'll be back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk. This is News Radio.
There's so much devastation. Sitting down to take a poop should be fun. You're walking a little gingerly there. I'm glad
there's a handle there, a disabled bathroom option. I'll be right back.
Statement
Dylan's dad again? Gotcha. I wonder with this storm coming if we shouldn't cancel Tuesday night.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's going to be hitting Wednesday morning at 8 a.m., it'd be hard to get people out there.
We're going to have a shit show weather Tuesday night.
Yeah.
You have massive rain.
Yeah.
And everybody getting ready for another possible freaking tropical storm. Worst case scenario, it's going to be a tropical storm. Or best case scenario. I'm sorry, best case scenario, you're going to have freaking torrential rain.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. Could be a low-cat hurricane. Some of those models are sniffing major hurricane lately. It's sad how slow the news is to catch up with this stuff.
Well, they're all running on a freaking skeleton crew because they're trying to make money.
Mm-hmm.
WFLA News is brought to you by the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust? A company that is clean, honest, trustworthy, reasonably priced, and shows up on time? Captain Mike Anderson here from Titan Plumbing and Electric.
Angel's going to drive here and beat your butt.
Why?
For all the yawning.
Is that what you said?
No. This is the third time she called you out on it.
Come on. I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping great. My shoulders, man. On my side sleep. I sleep on my side.
Mm-hmm.
My shoulders, both shoulders are messed up, and I don't know what it is. I took some of my tea this morning so I can try to get through my chest and bi workout this morning, man. It's just my shoulders are grouchy right now.
Dude, I started doing like a shoulder warm-up every day, no matter what I'm working out, and it's helped a lot. I had a tick in the shoulder and every now and again some shoulder pain, but doing like a T and then a Y and then rotator cuff with like 7-8 pounds, like super light dumbbells while I'm warming up, while I'm doing abs, like the first couple exercises in between sets, it's helped a lot.
When they do something.
The stretch guy that I'm working with, he always says that no one's ever had a rotator cuff that was too strong. If you keep just doing that rotator cuff exercise every day, just lightweight, just get it moving, get it oiled up before you start moving around, it helps. It's helped me a lot.
I always stretch. Even in my stretching routine, I have a lot of pulling and, you know, all the stuff that I do. We have a bar right up above me where I can kind of just rotate it, but that maybe makes sense. Get something going in there.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do something. My old ass is taking a beating here. Have we even talked since I won the military world? Have I been in here since then?
No.
Shit was crazy.
You won?
I won the world.
Nice.
You didn't see it? The military world title?
No.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
That's cool, man.
All the years, I've been playing softball a long time. It's the single greatest softball team I've ever played on talent-wise. I mean, dude, I got 3 at-bats.
Wasn't this the 40s?
I played 50s and 40s, but...
Yeah. That's cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, we won a state ring, too, earlier, but this one here was... Them boys, I'm telling you what, them boys can go, bro. They can go. It's crazy. 6 games in one day. Them boys can play, man. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've never had a at-bat where I was that nervous, I don't think. My first at-bat with that group.
That's awesome.
Them boys can play. We were out of home runs, too, and I hit a rocket, and it hit right at the top of the gate. It stayed in for a double. I was like, woo, that was close. Almost hit it out of here. sent them a text. I'm like, I just thought about it. I'm like, we got Tuesday night at Bartow Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not. We need to decide today, though, because we have tomorrow to get it out on the air.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Our last big segment of the morning here, unfortunately. Put a shout out to our good friends at Ace Heating and Cooling for over 20 years now. They've been a name you can trust in heating and air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys service all brands. They do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. I know a lot of you right now are going to need, full system replacements. They're the best in the business, period. Chris Myers is an absolute great guy. Give him a call, 813-657-8818, or you can look him up online at brandonac.net. And if for some reason you're looking to put in a pool this winter, if the good Lord has so blessed you to do that, then nobody in the business better than Innovative Pools and Spas. Over 35 years of experience in the Tampa Bay area, one of the best. They've been around forever. They're carrying on the legacy of their father. It's a great company with great people who love the outdoors just like you do. Call them today at 727-788-1650 or visit them at innovativepoolsandspa.net. Get yourself a free estimate. See why Innovative Pools and Spa is the top choice for the families in our community. It's good stuff. Let's go to the phones here. Joe and Jamie have been on hold here for a while. Let's check in. Joe, Jamie, what you got for us? Good. How are you guys? Good. Come on.
Get lucky, give a little shout out to Jamie, just watching the updates. And I'm local to Tampa, and I'll be honest, I underestimated the storm and thought that, hey, we ultimately will be all right. And we have a place in Tarpon Springs, and left the boat in the water, which is tied up, and it's tied up with a pair of whips as well. And I thought I did a pretty good job tying the boat up, and watching the updates more and more, I'm like, Jamie, this is not good, the surge. And I said, I don't know if I loosen the lines up enough with the tide going up and going down. And she said, well, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to go adjust the ropes, which started a fight because I didn't want her to drive over there after they said it's mandatory evacuation, but she did anyways. Adjusted the ropes, and ultimately
I saved the boat.
Nice. Well, that's a good story.
Right.
We lost everything else inside the house, but the boat survived.
So we can go fish.
Love this attitude.
Exactly.
House is gone, but the boat's safe. We can fish. Love it.
No doubt. No doubt.
I wish the company of the commercial docking company that just to piggyback off the story. So we went the next day, checked on the boat. It was floating. The stern whip was broken off, but it was floating. So stupid me, I said, okay, the boat's good. We don't have to worry about the boat at all. Let's just focus in the house, start emptying everything out. Well, the next morning, my neighbor calls me and says, Joe, your boat's sinking. I'm like, there's no way. There's no possible way. Well, what happened was when the tide was coming up, the stern got caught underneath the dock.
Oh, yeah.
Started pulling the stern down, and water was coming over. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm not going to make it in time because we were in Tampa. And so I'm driving as quick as possible over there and calling my other neighbors trying to help to see if they can push it underneath the dock. Well, it's so stuck, nobody could get it, underneath the dock to push it out. Well, there was a commercial docking company, and I wish I knew the company's name. I'd give them a shout out. But they came over. They had power tools. They took the dock apart and was able to get the boat back underneath the dock. And then they not only that, but then they put the dock back together with the whip. So my boat was able to stay away from the dock. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to. Wish I knew the company's name, but
and they did it for free.
So here's a thought. Here's my first thought. My first thought is, you two should never sell that boat. Okay, that boat has been through some stuff, and it is still with you. There's a reason you are meant to fish that boat. No doubt.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thought. I was like, that is a boat that has been through some stuff. It missed the storm. It went through the storm. Then it should have sank, and it didn't sink. So you guys need to hang on to that boat and fish it for a while. There's a lot more fish to be caught on that thing.
Will do.
No doubt. Well, thanks for sharing your story, guys. We appreciate that. We needed a little sunshine there. That's a positive. We
and
need
good
some
job
of that.
saving your boat.
Yeah.
My 8-year-old and our 8-year-old and our 3-year-old were amazing and helped. I mean, I can't believe what they did. And we drove down to Inglewood, and I wouldn't let them get out of the car. It was so toxic. They sat in the car for probably 10 hours.
Wow.
Because I just couldn't let them out. It was just sludge water, and it was not safe. But they were amazing kids, and so we had a lot of help and that American spirit. So we appreciate y'all every Saturday.
Well, you know what?
Thank
It
you,
means
guys.
a lot to us that you're listening, and just stay strong. We're going to rebuild. We're going to rock and roll and do what we do here. That's what we do. We get through this stuff. And, build back better. Exactly.
Make fishing great again.
Amen. Amen, my friend.
Great again. All right, y'all. Be blessed.
Hey, you too. Have a great day. Thanks for chiming in. We appreciate you more than you know. Good story. Good story. That boat right there, I would never sell that boat.
Yeah. That's
Never.
like a conversation piece.
Yeah, that boat has been through it, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I can picture that argument too.
Yeah,
you're not going over there. No, I am. Got to save the boat.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
At that point, dude, Joe, you just sit back and go, you know what?
You're right, honey.
You're awesome.
They're always right.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You go save the boat. Love that. Nothing wrong with that.
House is gone, but we can go fishing.
That's right.
Quote of the show. Right. We cannot top that. It does not get better.
That's the focus.
The build back better, make John's Fast great again was right underneath that. I thought we weren't going to outdo that, but we did.
Yeah. Well, and it's that's the kind of stuff, and there's so many of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Joe and Jamie just shared one, but there's thousands of those stories that just where people did crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we lost, but I was able to get the rods and reels up so the reels didn't get soaked in salt water. You know what I mean? There's tons of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fishing. The passion is crazy.
How about the guy, it was on, I think, Bayshore Boulevard, Davis Island, I believe. Dude's house it's gorgeous house. Dude's pretty well off. But maybe it was the kid. I don't know. I don't know the background of the story.
Yeah, right.
But I found it really funny and ironic and humorous that this dude's house is flooded. He's got 4 foot of water in his house, and he had the wherewithal or the humor to go get his kayak, bring it inside his living room, and he's filming himself kayaking in his living room. I'm like, all right, that's one way to make lemonade out of some lemons,
Right. I did see that one.
That was pretty funny.
I thought same thing. I thought, you go, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a gamer. You're a gamer, dude.
More power to you, bud.
Well, I mean, it's one of them deals, man. I mean,
got to look at the silver lining, that's for sure.
Well, that's what happened there. Let's dive in. Maybe we get one more call in here before the segment is over. Here would be great.
that a question? Are you asking?
No,
me?
I'm not asking. No, I'm running the board, pal.
Are you? Are you?
I
Though?
am.
All right.
With John Momola's
Click the button.
Let's check in with our good friend, Captain Jeff Page. Jeffrey, how are you, brother? Good to hear your voice. Talk to me.
Good morning, man. Good to hear y'all's voice. I figured you guys be on trying to cheer some folks up.
We're trying, buddy. We're trying. We're going to try again tomorrow too. It's what we can do. It's a tough one, buddy. You're a Florida guy. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Never, and I can recall my mom, God rest her soul, I can recall my mom telling me back in the 40s and 50s similar stuff where passes were opened and passes were closed and stuff like this happened. But, there wasn't the technology back then to tell you what category and, what direction. So this stuff just kind of happened, and they all just kind of amazed at it. But, yes, I believe it happened when my mom was in her prime. But since I've been around since 61, no, Mike, I have not. And this area has been spared, especially the barrier islands. And you know what? Their ticket finally got punched.
Yeah. I'm with you.
And that's how you got to look at it, because you look at those people up in that panhandle, it's almost like every year they have disaster. And we've just been spared. And I'm not talking about down Aussie's way, down Port Charlotte, Sanibel area.
Yeah.
They've taken some bad ones. But our little area from Sarasota up to you guys has been spared a lot of this. And so it was time. I mean, I don't wish it on anyone, but, it happened. 80% of our docks in this little Sarasota Bay where you and I have filmed a lot of real animals, 80% of the docks have some damage, and probably 50% of them have major damage.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's one of those things, I always say this when we're talking about these storms. The storms come in the Gulf, and, wow, we dodged a bullet. And that phrase, we dodged a bullet, gets used a lot. And I've been saying now for several years, dude, when we dodge a bullet, somebody else eats it.
And we still dodged this bullet.
We did, 100%.
That's the scary part.
Yes, we dodged.
This was the version of us dodging a bullet.
Right. Yeah, the amount of wreckage you're seeing, Anna Maria completely covered in sand, all that stuff. John's Pass, I mean, miles and miles and miles of destruction, and we dodged a bullet. That's crazy. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Scary.
Hey, what about Hubbard, Dylan? How did Hubbard's? I haven't heard from you guys a word or seen anything. How did Hubbard's hold up?
Bro, do you have social media? We did okay.
I'm trying to stay off it.
Apparently,
really
you're doing a really good job.
Yeah.
So congrats.
Yeah, they got hit really, really hard, but they are actually up and running trips today.
Yeah, we're running charters today. Our main dock got destroyed. One of our two of three major business locations in Johns Pass got destroyed. But I mean, grand scheme of things, we're good. We're really good. All our people are safe, and that's what matters. Our boats, luckily, as an added bonus, made it through the storm safely. The rest we can rebuild, and we have. I mean, we're going to be rocking and rolling here this weekend, getting our feet back under us, and giving the community some free opportunities to get out in the water and try to forget about what happened, or at least forget about it for a few hours. And looking forward to getting back to some sense of normalcy, hopefully this week, if weather allows.
Amen, Dylan. And I'm sure your dad and some of your all's old timers haven't seen stuff like this in a long time, if ever.
Yeah, this is definitely historic.
I talked to Scotty Moore this week, and Scotty said it was 1921, the last time Cortez was underwater. That's what Scott told me, and I didn't fact check it because he's Scott Moore. So I don't need to fact check it. So and Justin called in this morning. I mean, Scotty had a ton of water in his house. I mean, just all you can do, man, is just count on the resilience of the American spirit. I've been saying it for days, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch, people come together, and that's what we've been doing. Everybody kind of coming together and, pulling their boots up and just getting to work. So it's a beautiful thing to see. We appreciate you calling this morning. Go ahead.
And the grace of God runs deep, and God will use this. He'll bring people together with this.
I agree.
So everybody, if you don't believe in the Lord, now's a good time to start believing, because He's there for you always.
There's no doubt about it, my friend. Every time you turn, there He is. So we appreciate you, Jeffrey. Great call, and so good to hear your voice, my friend. I'm glad you're okay down there, and hopefully we can get caught up soon.
All right. Amen, you guys. God bless all of y'all.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you, pal. Good stuff right there. We're going to check in real quick with Tampa Bay Sporting Clays. Mike Mesra on the other side, and we'll wrap this thing up here. We'll be back, 970 WFLA.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Thanks to Farrah and Farrah. It's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. Open the app, click the red talkback microphone, and hit send. Farrah and Farrah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like the Beatles. Sounded so good.
I've been telling you guys for.
So I brought on a new team member. He interviewed one of our staff members who stayed at his house through the storm. And it starts with some of the news coverage, some of the video, and then it follows him to his house in Madeira Beach. And he walks through his house and tells the story about how the floodwaters came up and how he had to stand on his counter to survive the flood. Dude, this video is going to be sick. Nuts. Yeah. Nuts. Dude, you guys are going to love that video. We'll be posting it hopefully today. Jason, the video's not up yet. It still has to be rendered out. But once it's rendered out and posted, you'll see it for sure.
So sorry you had to go through all this, Dylan. That sucks, buddy.
Yeah. Get stronger.
Don't forget to check out our good friends at Power Pucks, PWRPUX.com. Absolutely an incredible addition to your boat. PWRPUX.com. Check out Power Pucks today. Let's go to the phones here. Check in with a good friend, Captain Mike Mesra. Mez, I know you're on the water as well. How'd you fare, buddy?
We had some water. I definitely don't want to play it up because compared to everyone else, we did fine. I mean, we had about 4.5 feet of water. I think Palm River went up 4 or 5 feet over the bank.
Yeah, wow.
But you know what? It's everything that. Yeah, I mean, it's all stuff that I've had for a long time, and I probably needed to purge anyway. So, I mean, if you go down Davis Island, some of these areas, you can't really feel sorry for me at all. I mean, it's devastating for what's happened. I know you guys have been talking about it the whole time, but it's riveting. And, I know you were talking about dodging a bullet. You're right. I mean, we dodged a bullet on this one too, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just terrible. I mean, the club's got a lot of water at it as well. I mean, we're back open. We've got an event today, but we've got a few courses closed. It's just a lot of water all through Pasco County. I mean, there's just, we got hit last night too. Even, I mean, there's just water. We just need a little break. That's it. We'll overcome. We got good friends and help and prayers and everything else. But I just feel so sorry for some of the people that just don't have the wherewithal to get things done. I mean, I donated a bunch of clothes and a bunch of items to some friends already, and Salvation Army. It's hard. It's hard to see it, but
Amen.
I know you guys are there for support and help wherever you can do it. So I appreciate everything you guys have been doing.
We're going to grind it out, dog. It's what we do, Mez. It's good to hear your voice, brother. Can't wait to get out there and shoot some clays. It's getting to be the right time of year to get out there and shoot them up. So I look forward to seeing you, brother.
Let's get through this hurricane season and go and have a cocktail and say a prayer.
Amen.
All right, guys, take care. Thank you for your work.
Good
to
to hear, buddy.
Dylan.
Good to hear your voice, buddy. The great Mike Mesra, Tampa Bay Sporting Clays right there.
Good dude.
So weather. I'm sorry. I know.
Why do you keep just sticking the knife in and twisting? I'm over here just reeling.
Listen. The Bartow Ford Real Animal Fishing conversation has been canceled.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Weather.
Yeah.
So that's the weather report.
I put a text in.
It's so bad that we can't even do a fishing
Well, we just don't
conversation.
know. I mean, we just don't know. So I texted Mike Biedenbo, the GM out there, Elisa DeBlasi, who's the marketing manager out there, and we just decided to not push the envelope. So
yeah, it doesn't look good. Today through Tuesday is going to be wet, rainy, and windy. We have some sloppy tropical moisture moving around, so definitely keep your eye on your radar the next 3 days. Then Wednesday, potentially tropical storm, tropical disturbance, maybe even a Category 1, 2, even 3 hurricane, all on Florida's west coast. Really, Tampa Bay south seems to be in the danger zone as far as eyewall. Keep in mind, when it takes this sort of track, anything south of eyewall is going to be the challenge. So keep a close eye on where things are going.
Pay attention to it for sure. That's brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows. Go to reesewindows.com for more information. John Momola, we thank you, sir. That's never great radio to do, unfortunately. Just
someone's got to do it.
Yeah, well, I'd much rather just talk fishing and happy stuff, but it is what it is. Tight lines, everybody. Have a great week. Make sure you check us out tomorrow morning. Me and Mike and Ben will all three be in tomorrow morning. The TM Honey Company Real Animals Radio Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Again, thanks to John Momola. Tight lines, everybody. Have a great day. We're out.
By Real Animals Fishing.
News Radio 970 WFLA Tampa, 97.9 FM WXTV HD2 Clearwater. Tampa Bay's home for the most trusted voices in
Another gun is found on campus. This time it was in Brevard County at Rockledge High School. 3 teenagers